Hello guys, welcome back to our channel BioLab, and this is VAMSI, and in today's video we will be discussing about types of muscle fibers. Types of muscles is completed. In today's video we will be discussing about types of muscle fibers and a little introduction to skeleton. Yes, without any further ado, let's get into the video, starting with types of muscle fibers. Yes, before going into the types of muscle fibers, we have to discuss about a word called as myoglobin. It relates to something. Hemoglobin. Yeah, it is present in blood and gives red appearance to the blood, and it acts as the oxygen carrier. The same way myoglobin. But myoglobin is found in the protein. It is a protein that is found in striated muscles or striped muscles. Yes, in day before yesterday's lecture, while we are discussing about classification of muscles, we have seen what muscles are striated and striped. We have found that skeletal muscles and cardiac muscles are striated and striped. These have the presence of myoglobin, and its main function is to supply oxygen to the cells of the muscles. The cells of the muscles are also called as myocytes. Please make a note of this wherever you are writing your notes. Myocytes. The cells of muscles are also called as myocytes. Okay, what is the function of myoglobin, guys? It is just to carry oxygen. It is similar to the function of hemoglobin. What is the function of hemoglobin? Let's discuss one. It carries oxygen and it is present in blood, and it gives red appearance to the blood. Myoglobin gives red appearance to the blood. So that is why the myoglobin also carries oxygen supply. Oxygen supply is required for each and every cell of the body. Without oxygen supply, there wouldn't be any physiological functions happening in the body. Okay, not only physiological functions, rather biological functions, rather biochemical functions. Anything to happen, we should have the presence of oxygen in our body. So that is why myoglobin and hemoglobin are such important pigments. Myoglobin is also a red color pigment which gives a red appearance to the muscle fibers. It carries oxygen, it supplies oxygen. Okay, now based on the presence of the myoglobin, let's remove hemoglobin. Based on the presence of myoglobin, we have two types of fibers. Red muscle fibers and white muscle fibers. We have two types. One is red muscle fiber, two white muscle fiber. Okay, red muscle fibers appear red in color due to the presence of more amounts of myoglobin. They appear red. Why? Due to red color pigment is more. If myoglobin concentration is more, red color increases. If red color increases, their appearance and color is in red. So that is why red muscle fibers. Name itself suggests whether they have more content of myoglobin or less content of myoglobin. You have to catch that point. Red muscle fibers appear red in color due to the presence of more amount of myoglobin. White muscle fibers appear white in color due to the presence of less amounts of myoglobin. They do not have much myoglobin as compared to the red muscle fibers. That is why they appear white. And also you can also take like this: red muscle fibers contain more amount of myoglobin. That is why they possess large amounts of oxygen. They have large supply of oxygen. That is why they possess large amount of mitochondria, which is used to utilize oxygen stored for ATP production. So that is why they are more active. And as they are synthesizing ATP using oxygen, as they are releasing ATP using oxygen, they can also be it is called as aerobic process, and the muscles are called as aerobic muscle fibers. The muscle fibers are called as aerobic muscle fibers. See, using one point you have to derive the rest of the points yourself. A large amount of myoglobin results in the large amount of oxygen supply, which results in the large amount of mitochondria, and these large amount of mitochondria utilize the oxygen stored for ATP production and produce ATP. Since the ATP is produced with using oxygen, hence this process is called as aerobic process, and the muscle fibers are called as aerobic muscle fibers. Now coming to white muscle fibers, they appear white in color due to the presence of less myoglobin. We have seen less myoglobin content is there in white muscle fibers, so that is why they appear white. And since they have very less myoglobin content, they have very less amount of oxygen supply, and since they have less amount of oxygen supply, they have very less amount of mitochondria. Yes, since they have less percentage of oxygen supply, they have less number of mitochondria. As they have less number of mitochondria, they should be useful in any other function. Like if a person is there, he is sitting at home, but he is not helping the home in anything, either as a financial matter or anything. He has to help the home. If not, we say him as useless. So like that only, white muscle fibers, if they are not doing any other function, not only like red muscle fibers synthesizing ATP using oxygen, they have to do any other function. So that is why they have the function of storage of calcium ions. Why I am saying storage of calcium ions? If it is written here high number of sarcoplasmic reticulums, why I am saying like that? Yes, in yesterday's class I hope I have told you that sarcoplasmic reticulum is the storehouse of calcium ions. Now in order to remember this easily, let's take one mnemonic. See, calcium, it is mostly present in milk. Milk is in white color. Here there are high amounts of sarcoplasmic reticulum, means there are more concentration of calcium ions. Milk is in white. Milk is having calcium, so that is why white muscle fibers are having high. So on that basis, you can also take that white muscle fibers are having more calcium, so that is why they appear white with less amount of mitochondria. If mitochondria is less, oxygen supply is less. If oxygen supply is less, that means that less amount of myoglobin. And if the oxygen supply is less, they do not at all depend on oxygen for ATP production. Oxygen supply is less due to the less amount of myoglobin, and they do not depend on oxygen for ATP production. Any process which does not depend on oxygen for ATP production or energy release is termed as anaerobic process, and these muscles also follow the anaerobic process, hence they are called as anaerobic muscle fibers. Understood? Very clear. Understand the mnemonic and then study. If you get one point into your brain, you can derive the rest points. Without using anyone's help. So that's what my idea is. My intention is not only providing free education all over India. My intention is to give you the main point, give you the best. See, let me be frank with you in this thing. Give me a little 4 minutes or 3 minutes of time. Let me bring frank with you. I am also a class 12 student. I am also studying. I am from Andhra Pradesh. I am from Vijayawada. I am also studying in a college. Or if you are from north, if you are watching my videos, thank you. And I am also studying in school. There they call college also. This +1 +2 also as a school. So that is why I am also studying. As I am studying, I prepare my notes. I have my notes. Let me show you my notes. 1 minute. Let me get my notes. Yeah. See, I do prepare my notes. I do prepare my notes for every lecture. For every lecture, not only telling you, I do prepare my notes for preparing myself for my tests. So see, everything which I have written here will be present in today's lecture. These notes I prepare using the NCERT textbook. Using the NCERT textbook, I read every point and I prepare my notes. I don't even care whether I get less marks in my these tests. And let me tell you, I am an average student in class, but I can teach better. Why? I know the mnemonics which I remember. I use mnemonics to remember some names. So that is why I can tell you those mnemonics. Like if I am talking about these red muscle fibers and white muscle fibers, I have already told you that less amount of myoglobin content, less supply of oxygen. If oxygen supply is less, anaerobic process is happening for ATP production. As anaerobic process is happening, these muscle fibers are also called as anaerobic muscle fibers. What? White muscle fibers. Red, more amount of myoglobin. See, I am taking one point and then elaborating the rest of the points. So I am being frank with you. I am also a student studying in class 12 and I am writing NEET in 2023. I am going to write NEET in 2023. Remember, 2023. And then I would score the best. I am telling, I would score my level best. If you want to be with me, come join with me. Join with me. Let us both. If you have some other ideas on mnemonics, please do comment. I will be taking them. Okay. So that is what. Okay. I am being frank with you. Please leave that aside. Now let's move on to. I told you this because I want to be frank with my subscribers. I don't want to, I don't want to tell unnecessary degrees. I have PhDs. No. Let me be frank with you. I am also a student. So if I join in medical college also, I continue doing my videos. Yeah, there are many. Dr. ARK sir, he is studying MBBS in AIMS Delhi. AIMS Delhi. 690 marks. 690 marks in 2017, I hope. Yeah, 2017. He is in final year now and he teaches us. So those are my inspiration. And also physics wala Alak Pandey sir, he is also one of my inspiration in order to start a channel. So free education can be given, but education with quality also can be given by many, but it's not possible for many also. So my dream is to provide free education all throughout the India without taking a rupee. I only charge for notes, and from today let me tell you, no charge for notes also. I will be providing you free. Let's go like that. VT sir, Vishal Tiwari sir, he also provides free education. So those are my inspiration, guys. Yes, so that is why I ask you, if you have any other mnemonics to remember these, please comment down in the comment box below. Okay, enough of talk, let's move on in the lecture. Now, as we have completed about these types of muscle fibers, now we have to discuss about an important cycle called as Cori's cycle. Cori's cycle. Before getting into the cycle description, let me give you two important terms which we have to remember. See, I always use we. I will not say you, which you have to remember. No, which we have to remember. I should also remember these terms. One is glycogenesis, and second one is glycogenolysis. glycogenesis and glycogenolysis. Glycogenesis, genesis, synthesis. Remember like this. Genesis equals to synthesis. Genesis equal to synthesis. Genolysis, genolysis, lysis equal to breaking. Lysis. If you find the word lysis, it means breakdown. Equal to breakdown. Lysis equal to breakdown. Glycogenolysis, glycogenolysis. It is a biochemical. We are studying the second definition first. Biochemical. Let me change the color. Biochemical pathway in which glycogen breaks down into glucose 1-phosphate. Glucose 1-phosphate and glucose. Just remember glucose, it's enough. It is present in our NCERT. This reaction takes place in hepatocytes and myocytes. What are myocytes? I have already told you to remember them. Yes, muscle cells. Muscle cells are also called as myocytes. Yes. Yes, glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis. Lysis means breakdown. Glycogen, breakdown of glycogen. Lysis, breakdown. Glycogen, breakdown into glucose. In myocytes and hepatocytes. Hepatocytes, glycogen is what are hepatocytes? Liver cells. Hepatocytes are liver cells. In Cori's cycle, we include both muscle as well as liver. In Cori's cycle, we include both muscle as well as liver. Yes, I will be showing you the cycle here. Before, after completing these, the important definitions which we have to remember. Genesis, synthesis. Glycogenesis is the process of synthesis of glycogen. Glycogenesis. Glycogenesis. Genesis, synthesis. Glycogen, synthesis of glycogen. Glycogenesis. Lysis, breakdown. Glycogenolysis. Glycogen, breakdown into glucose. Remembered? Got into your brain? Now let's move on to the Cori's cycle. Let me zoom it for you a little. Yes. Let us look at the Cori's cycle. Yeah, hope I am not visible. Yeah, only for some time. Let's complete this fast and then I will be again visible to you. Yes, here we have glycogen, right? Glycogen. What is glycogen? It is one form of glucose. It is one form of sugar glucose. This glycogen is present in muscle as well as liver. So that is why I have named here muscle glycogen as well as liver glycogen. Now coming to muscle glycogen, when muscle glycogen breaks down into lactic acid, that process is called as breakdown process, glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis. What happens in the first step? Glycogenolysis of glycogen to lactic acid, muscle lactic acid. Now from here energy is released. Now from lactic acid, the lactic acid enters into blood and reaches liver. Now here lactic acid is converted into glycogen. Means here what is happening in liver? Glycogenesis. Synthesis of glycogen is happening. Glycogenesis. Here first step, glycogenolysis from glycogen to lactic acid. Second step, in liver from oxidized, see 20% is oxidized and remaining 80% is sent or converted into glycogen using the process glycogenesis in the liver. Now here glycogen is formed. Now from glycogen, it is being converted into glucose in blood. Glucose in blood. Now this is again, it is the same process. It is the same process as of first one, glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis. Okay, you can also call as glucogenesis. Glucogenesis. Okay, that is what. Hope you understand the Cori cycle. Now let's see one line I have added here extra. This is a final result of Cori cycle which you have to remember now. I have added this line from here, from this lactic acid, sorry, not from here, from muscle lactic acid I have added. From muscle lactic acid, see, lactic acid to glycogen to glucose to again glycogen. Now what is happening in Cori cycle, let me tell you. Lactic acid is being converted into glycogen. This whole process involves glycogenolysis and glycogenesis both. First step glycogenolysis, second step glycogenesis, again third step glycogenolysis. This is Cori cycle. This is Cori cycle. Okay, understood? This is Cori cycle. Now that's it. We have completed with muscles, skeletal muscles, cardiac muscles, muscle classification, etc., etc. Now let's leave the muscles. We have completed till here, till muscles. Now we will be moving on to skeleton. Sorry, 1 minute, yes, 1 minute. Now let's discuss about skeletal system. We have completed muscles, forget about muscles. I say, do not forget completely, but yes, we have completed that. Now we are moving on to skeleton or skeletal system. Let's see the introduction to skeletal system, and from next video we will be discussing full detailed about skeletal system. We need to remember many words, guys, many words. That is why I am telling you, revise muscles and empty your brain and come from the next class. Yes, see, the skeletal muscles in our body, sorry, 1 minute. The skeletal system in our body's framework. The skeletal system is our body's central framework. Skeletal system. 1 minute. This skeletal system is the central framework. See, have you ever seen a building without iron as its framework? First they built the framework using iron bars, and they poured the cement into that gaps which they have created the cuboidal shapes, pillars, etc. So like that, the iron which provides the structure to the building, this skeletal system which includes bones, cartilages, tendons, ligaments, etc., provides a structural framework to the body. That is why it is also called as musculoskeletal system. There are three types of skeletal systems based on the thing which is present as the framework. One is hydrostatic skeletal system. Here you can understand hydro, water, static, water is stable. That the skeletal system which uses water and water pressure as a framework, as a structural framework, is called as skeletal, this hydrostatic skeletal system. Endoskeletal system, inside the skeletal system which is present inside or underneath the skin is called as endoskeletal system. Exoskeletal system, outside the skeletal system which is present outside or outside the skin or on top of the body of the organism is called as exoskeletal system. Now let's see one by one. Starting with hydrostatic skeletal system, as I said, a fluid provides a framework of the body. A fluid provides, the fluid exerts pressure. That is why body is stable. The same fluid helps in locomotion too. For example, Hydra, water in the gastrovascular cavity. Hydra is having gastrovascular cavity. Yes, if this is the organism, it is having a cavity in the center. This is gastrovascular cavity, where the food is digested, where the water is present, where the excretory products are removed. It is having gastrovascular cavity. Cavity means space. This space is filled with water and that exerts pressure on the side walls and including the whole organism. So therefore the organism is stable. And if the hydra wants to move, if it moves its gastrovascular cavity or the water inside the gastrovascular cavity to one side, then the hydra moves. Now coming to endoskeleton. Endoskeleton, endo means inside. It is of two main types. One is cartilage and bone. Yes, this endoskeleton is present underneath the skin. Let's take our example, human beings. Human beings are having endoskeleton. They are having skeleton underneath the skin. These bones, cartilages which are present inside the skin are constituents of endoskeleton itself. Yes, these bones, cartilages, tendons, ligaments are the constituents and they constitute of endoskeleton in human beings. Yeah, there are main of two types, cartilage and bone. Cartilage is soft, bone is hard. What is this? It is very small point here. Bones are hard, cartilages are soft. Bones are hard, cartilages are soft. Am I right? These cartilages are made up of cells called as chondrocytes, remember, and also matrix. We'll be discussing more in detail in the chapter. 1 minute, let me tell you. I have also forgot the name of the chapter. I hope structural organization in animals, we will be discussing about this. Yes, in structural organization in animals, we will be discussing more about this. The chondrocytes, matrix, cartilage, hyaline, etc. Fibers, cartilage, hyaline, cartilage, yeah, etc. etc. Now, bone is of different types. It is long, short, flat, compact, spongy. Spongy bones, yes, they are soft in nature. Spongy bones are soft in nature. Spongy bone is present in the vertebral column. When we come to the vertebral column session, then I will be saying you spongy bone which is present there. Now coming to matrix. As I said, they are made by chondrocytes. The cells are also matrix. This matrix can also be again of two types. One is fibrous or hyaline, and it can also be collagenous or elastic cartilage matrix. The matrix either can be made by fiber, hyaline cartilage, it is called as, or collagen cartilage, collagenous cartilage. Yes, we will be discussing in animal diversity. So hope you understood these two, the difference between these two. Now let's move on to this picture. Let see this picture. Observe this picture. Endoskeleton. Have you ever seen the X-ray? Have you ever seen an X-ray? Then you will be understanding the endoskeleton. See, bones. These bones inside the human hand. These are various types. When you come to limbs, I will be telling you. These are called carpals. These are called as metacarpals. These are phalanges. Yes, these wrist bones are 8 in number. Interestingly, they are 8 in number. Carpals. Metacarpals are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 metacarpals. This is also a metacarpal. There are 14 phalanges. Phalanges means digits. See, you can count your digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. In thumbnail, thumbnail I am saying. In thumb, we will be having only 2 digits, 2 phalanges, but remaining 3. 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3. Yes. There we will be discussing in limbs. Now only don't excite. Yes. Now coming to exoskeleton. As I said, it is present outside. Yeah, we haven't completed. Let us complete then. Hydrostatic skeleton, it is present water pressure inside earthworm. Earthworm also has the presence of hydrostatic skeleton, including hydra. Mention this example also where you have written that. Now coming to exoskeletal system or exoskeleton. Exo means outer. It is generally keratinized in humans. Yes, what are the keratinized parts of exoskeleton? Nails, Nails in humans are the keratinized parts of exoskeleton. Horns in bulls and cows, they are also keratinized exoskeleton. Okay, now it is hard, found mostly in shells of snails made up of CaCO3, calcium carbonate. Yes, this is CaCO3 shell of snail, outside shell of the snail. Now chitin in arthropods. Yes, for example, cockroach is having an exoskeleton made up of chitin. Cockroach is having exoskeleton made up of chitin. So that is it for this video, guys. If you like the video, please hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel. And I have told you the fact that I am a student. Yes, let's join together to make a revolution. Yes, let's join with them also, physics wala, VT sir, etc. So that is it for this video, guys. If you have any doubts, if you have any suggestions, please comment down in the comment box below. I'll definitely respond to you. So this is VAMSI. Have you a great day further. Thank you, guys.